Well, today marks the fourth consecutive session of a decline in the market, so it's always great when these things happen.
Not your friend four.
No, not the Fab Four, the Final Four. Maybe,
right.
I don't know. We hope it's the Final Four. Mike Giordano with Williams Wealth Management, putting it in perspective. I know the markets were a little nervous about what Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan, I'm going way back, sorry, Jerome Powell might do. Is that what's making them nervous, or are there some new things that are making them nervous?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve had this big conference out in beautiful Jackson Hole, Wyoming last week.
How much did that cost?
I know. And Fed Chair Jay Powell, not Alan Greenspan, he gave a very unbeautiful message to the markets, which was, you guys had this wonderful rally for the last 2 months predicated on the fact you thought we were going to cut interest rates, or at least slower interest rate hikes because inflation may be peaking. But no, we're going to keep hiking until we sufficiently see inflation is in the rearview mirror.
Okay, so why isn't it? I mean, why isn't it working? Are there other factors that are keeping these rate hikes from slowing down the economy enough to where they feel comfortable with it?
Well, there's always a lot of factors, but part of the problem is that you raise rates, but it takes months for that stuff to really feed into the system.
Yeah.
So we're basically looking at the end of the year where the brunt of these rate hikes will actually start to show up in the data. So one of the things you're looking at is like unemployment data, and it hasn't really come through yet. We have a 3.5% unemployment rate. We keep adding jobs every month, so it's going to take a few months for that to happen.
Okay, you say this is a tricky time for investors. How so, and how do they get around that?
Well, Jane, imagine you're driving down Interstate 85 and you get caught in that traffic jam, right? And you're just at a standstill. At first, you might not be freaking out. You know, I might be freaking out, but most people might not be freaking out immediately. Then all of a sudden, you get going again. You're back up to 60 miles an hour. You're like, we're making progress. And then you get hit in another traffic jam and you're back at a standstill. That's where we're at right now. That roller coaster, that first dip isn't sometimes that bad, but it's after you've made progress and you're like, all right, we're back on the way to all-time highs. Then you come back down. Now all of a sudden, it's like, where am I? I got to readjust my expectations. This is when people freak out, but this is when people need to remain calm, understand this is all part of the process. We're going to work through it. It just may take a little bit longer than you expected.
You'll get to your destination.
You will get to your destination.
Okay, so when traffic comes to a stop, that's kind of when it bottoms out. When is it going to stop? How many more times is traffic going to come to a stop? I know I'm asking you to put on a magic hat to answer that one, right?
I can put on the magic hat. Okay, I didn't bring any props with me, but next time I will. But who knows how many more dips you have to deal with. But what we're looking ultimately for is a real pivot, a real chance for the Fed to say, you know what, we're not going to hike rates, or not going to hike them as aggressively. We may start cutting rates. The things you need to see, obviously, is you need to see inflation coming off, and that means demand coming down, or we need to see some supply coming back online. Right. We're starting to see some of that loosening, so that's a good thing. And one of the things we need to really see is the labor market kind of loosen up a little bit. There's 11 million job openings out there. We need to kind of see that start coming down. We'll get our next look on Friday of the jobs report.
Excellent. I feel better. I just always feel better, mainly because you forgave me for saying Alan Greenspan. Or did you?
I just love, well, you're talking about Princess Diana, 25 years, so of
I know,
course you're
exactly.
Back in the 90s.
We were 25 years back. Maybe we need Alan Greenspan again. Mike Giordano with Williams Wealth Management. It's always great to visit with you.
You bet.
We'll be right back.